What's up everybody, I'm Dear Gamer. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back, and today we are going up in a longsword for Monster Hunter Wilds, the beta. And what I'm gonna do is show you a couple combos, some moves, and kind of go about using longsword in the game, and some changes I think are really cool. So my family, without further ado, let's dive in. So just starting off, the longsword. Longsword has changed because the weapon is a lot more fluid now. So as far as your combos, you can pretty much chain everything together. That's the kind of idea with a longsword. So if you have your standard attacks, you have triangle. You keep on triangle attack. The cool thing is when you get to red gauge, and the red gauge is your little spirit meter on the top left above Mr. Whisker's name. As you level that up, what it allows you to do is it allows you to build spirit gauge, which helps you strengthen your attacks and also do special moves as well when you get to the red. So, standard attack, you have your triangle, just standard triangle attacks. It does combos like this now when you're ready to a lot faster. Your circle attack is just this thrust, upwards thrust. This one exactly from World. I use this skill a lot when I'm trying to set up for a Foresight. Foresight is R2 and circle. That is your counter. You want to use your counter because that's how you're going to dodge attacks from enemies. So, just a couple of things. There's no training area. So that's a Foresight right there. Your bread and butter for longsword is going to be using Foresight. I highly recommend just find an enemy, practice with Foresight. It's going to protect you from almost every single attack. Longsword has 3 levels. It has a level white, level yellow, and a yellow red. So what I'll do is, matter of fact, what I'll do is I'll go fight this guy over here. What I'll actually do is I recommend you guys all finding this monster right here. This is a very, very standard, easy monster. So now I can kind of show you what I was talking about without getting interrupted. So right now I have white gauge. So there's a couple of ways to increase your gauge. Your R2 attack is what's going to increase your gauge as long as this last hits just like that. As long as the last hit in the combo hits the monster, you go 1 gauge to the next level. Right now I'm level 2. Another way you can increase this gauge is by doing Foresight. So you get a Foresight. After the Foresight slash, you hit R2. Now you're in red gauge. So from earlier, what was I saying earlier? Your attacks are a lot faster and stronger as well. This is just a triangle combo. It got a lot faster and a lot stronger. The circle combo is the same. If you notice right there, the Foresight slash is different as well. So now, the game of longsword is going to be hitting your counters and predicting the enemy's attack just by paying attention to their move. So that's a new Foresight right there. So when you get to red gauge, one thing that you're going to be able to do is your Helm breaker. You could do your Helm breaker in every single level between white, yellow, and red. But you want to do red because that's when you do the most damage. You also have your special attack, the Iai Slash, which is that slash right there. In order to do that, you hit R2 and X at the same time. You go into your special sheet stance. If you want to do what I did, you hit R2, and don't worry, it expires, so you gotta be careful. If you want to do what I do, you have to hit R2 right when the enemy hits you. You'll do this, and you'll go right through the attack. If you time it just right, you'll actually gain another level doing just that attack. You don't get punished if you miss, so you're encouraged to use Iai Slash as much as possible. So that time I missed it. We don't have access to any builds or any kind of decorations in the beta, so we have to just work with what we got. So when the full game comes out, I'll make a full guide on the weapon and how to utilize it as well. So there's a lot of ways. That's the second way to raise our gauge, or third way. The fourth way to raise our gauge would be using our new combo, which is just holding R2. If you hold it, and this last hits, you get another gauge like that. So that way is really cool because even if you don't have any kind of spirit gauge, watch, I waste my spirit gauge. Oh, I just noticed something. Foresight doesn't take all of your meter away. That's amazing. I just noticed that. So say I didn't have any meter and I needed to go to the next level. Like right now, I just hold this. Boom, I'm already in red gauge. Another cool thing they added as well is in your final attack, if you're in red, on this last slash, you hit R2 again, you do a follow-up attack. So there's a lot of new moves that they added into the longsword arsenal that you want to make sure you're kind of taking advantage of. The last thing that I'm going to talk about, and I said that like I left it last for a reason, is your focus strikes. So what is focus strikes? So as you're attacking a monster, I got another video talking about wounded attacks and focus strikes. Just click the link below. But you see the parts that illuminate on his body? Those are the parts that I wounded. You wound the enemy by continuously attacking it, and it opens up a wound just like that. If you hold R2, it kind of tells you what areas are illuminating. You hit R1, you do your focus strike. And if you break multiple parts, you can go up to 2 levels. If you break one part, you only go 1 level. So now I have my spirit gauge all the way to red again. And red's important because I do more damage in my red. But also at the same time, my Helm Breaker is a lot faster as well. Speaking of Helm Breaker, you can now cancel it. So Helm Breaker can be canceled just by hitting X in the middle of the sky. So how many times have you done this on accident where you fired off a Helm Breaker, enemy left, and you're like, oh man, I didn't really mean to do that. Boom, like right here, cancel it, you maintain your gauge as well. So absolutely great quality of life. All right, so now let's talk about some combos you want to be utilizing when you're fighting. So when you're fighting, a couple things you want to make sure you're familiar with. So one is going to be you have your standard attacks we talked about, and also say something with me. In Foresight, we trust. Foresight is the most important thing. I'm a longsword main. On my community, we have a quote saying Foresight we trust, because that's what you're focusing on to build your gauge up, protect yourself from attack. You can literally Foresight any attack. Foresight is so strong, it can go through any attacks. You want to make sure you're taking your time to get as many foresights as possible. So now, there's also another combo too. If you hit triangle, circle, triangle, that's another combo they added to this game. Okay, so now we got 2 of them here. It doesn't matter, it's all good. So now what you want to do is, well, see what I'm doing right there? I'm using my Foresight, my circle attack to build up, to wait for that perfect opening to Foresight, because longsword is a counter weapon. One thing I want to recommend is I highly recommend utilizing your focus strike, because focus strike does a couple of things. Not only does it tell you the weak spot, it also helps you redirect your character as well. So say I'm attacking over here, the monster goes this direction, I hit L2 and it changed direction in my attack right to that enemy. So that's why I highly recommend you incorporate this into your attack. Let's get these. I broke all of them at the same time. I guess I would have been like 5 levels, 4 levels at that point. Also too, say I hit my Helm Breaker this way, I can redirect it mid in the air just by holding my focus attack. So those are a couple things. You want to get the basics down. Longsword is a weapon by utilizing the basics, but also knowing when to counter as well. So special, she has 2 options. You can use it how you utilize it like I did earlier and hit the Iai Slash like that, or you can use your special Sheathe attack. So when you hit, after you hit it, oh great, they both leave. After you hit R2 and X, you can slice the monster, and if you slice the monster and make contact, if you notice, my spirit gauge is increasing. So you want to utilize this because you need spirit gauge in order to utilize your Helm Breaker, in order to use your Foresight. You have to have meter, you have to have some kind of energy, and you get your energy by attacking the enemies. So now this guy's down, you want to take advantage of it. Boom. So what I did right there, that's the Crimson Slash. It's a new move that's specifically for a longsword. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, so after you have red gauge, hit your Helm Breaker. When you're coming down, you hit R2 again, and you do our special new move. You hit it twice. The thing about that, it takes up 2 gauges. It takes your red gauge and your yellow gauge, so after that, you have to regain your gauges up to do it again. But it's worth it because it does so much damage to the monster. So now let's talk about our new special spirit gauge move. This one is specifically, it's cool because not only can you just sit there and charge up. Oh, I love when that happens. It's amazing because if you're out of juice, oh, let's get rid of one of these. Oh, it hit both of them. I didn't even know it transferred like that. Cool thing about it is you can do it if you have no spirit gauge. Like right now I have a little bit, right? Mine's going up. So I can do my roundhouse slash. You need spirit gauge to do your R2 attacks. And after 3, the level 4 takes you up a level. We talked about this earlier. But cool thing about that skill is if I have no gauge, and I know I won't make it, like this part, I can hold it, and I can still get on my roundhouse slash and get my gauge up. So that's what's cool about it. Before, if I was at a spirit gauge, and I did my final R2, I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to get to the next gauge. But because now we have this attack that kind of goes like this, even if I have no spirit gauge at all, I can use that to build my level up to the next level. So what is the playstyle with Longsword? The playstyle with Longsword is get yourself to red, because that's when you unlock your special abilities and you do more damage as well. And that's when you're gonna do your massive Helmbreaker. Helmbreaker is king right now in the beta. We don't know what other skills they're gonna put into the game, but from right now, the goal is to get to red because you do more damage, and get to red and you utilize your Helmbreaker and your Crimson Strike as well. Another amazing thing with our spirit combo is now the spirit combo is very mobile, meaning I can move myself all around the map by utilizing that combo. So you want to make sure, ooh, we don't have no special sheet yet. Special sheet's amazing for Longsword because it makes your quick sheet animation a lot faster, so it can pull off a lot of those combos. So we got the Foresight, aim it in, boom, boom. That's the cycle right there. I can see how I'm in weak spots. I have a weak spot there, so all I can do is, like, I think I broke it. Oh, I did break it. If you attack the weak spot too much, it breaks. Man. Oh, it's a weird thing where if you go too far over on the like a full 180 in the air, sometimes for me, like, it cancels my Helmbreaker. I think I might be pushing a button on accident, but if that happens to you, that might be what it is. So essentially, that's kind of how Longsword works in this time around. So right now, you don't want to use your Helmbreaker because it's out of space. You also have a couple of new abilities as well. So if, say I hit R1, you hit twice backwards, just one, and R2, you'll go backwards as well. But in order to use that move, you need Phase Strike as well. That's also another move. There's a lot of small attacks as well they added in. So say I do a regular attack, I can hit R2 and just jump backwards just like that. It doesn't work for the side. So essentially what happens is you just move. So I can hit to the left. You see how I went all the way across to the right side, left side? Now if I do the same thing, I can go to the right and I can go backwards to get in place right in front of my enemies. And see right there, I was at a spirit gauge, but it's okay. I was still able to go to the next level because of our new ability they gave us. So that pretty much covers the Longsword. So now the flow is, you want to make sure you keep Foresight is everything. So I could have canceled that one. I should have canceled that one because it moved out the way. Foresight is everything. Make sure you keep your sharpness up. They ought to always make sure you have some spirit gauge. Spirit gauge you get by just attacking a monster. Hit one of these special attacks, and it's good because it allows you to keep your Foresights coming. Because without it, you can't do it. So see what I did right there. Use that focus strike. Made sure that I turn my direction. I think I have 2 weak spots right there. I can break. I should go to red here because I broke 2 wounded spots. He's gone. I probably would have hit, but I just decided to save it. So that's the loop. That's the loop with Longsword. A lot of new people are going picking up the game, checking it out, and they're wondering how to use the weapon. I've been using Longsword for the last 7 years now, so I'm pretty proficient with it. And it's an amazing weapon. Just takes some time. It takes a little bit of time to learn the mechanics, but most importantly, I would say is just get to red. Get to red. You can get to red by utilizing this combo. You can use it by doing Foresights. You can do your focus strikes. You can do your Iai Slash. There's lots of ways for you to get to red. Once you're in red, that's when you can take advantage of doing some big damage to the monster. For standard combos, I think we want to utilize when you want to get to red as fast as possible is I would utilize the standard attack, Fade Slash, and hit R2, boom, comes back a lot faster, than doing any other combo. It's a fast way to build your meter as well. Also, a cool thing about that combo, which is kind of a classic, you can put attacks in there if you're missing some energy as well. In the past, what you would do is to get the red as fast as possible, you would hit the monster, face slash R2 all the way across. And the problem is, oh man, sometimes you might be out of juice or you're not in a position to go all the way. Now you don't have to worry about that anymore. Because say you have enough energy and you're running out, all you gotta do is just hold R2. Well, I had enough. But say I got to the end of the combo, I had enough energy. Let's hold R2 and it'll automatically put me here. And what that would look like is, and boom. You'll be at that point. So when in doubt, let's hold R2 to get your energy up. Try to use as much as you can in your fights because easy way to build meter up. It's a little bit slow. Maybe there'll be a skill that will allow us to do a lot faster. Then I think it'll just be insane OP if they do. But man, it's decent speed. You can move around with it. You can't really do too much with it. You can aim it. Just make sure you get used to using your focus strike. I think that's one of the most important things. Because longsword is so slippery this time around, you want to utilize this to make sure you're hitting your target and hitting your monster exactly where you want to hit them. So be mindful of that. But this has been my quick overview guide of longsword. It's a very complex weapon, very simple weapon, but it's easy to learn, hard to master, which is one reason why I like it. If you like counters, you're going to enjoy the weapon. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. When the full game comes out, I'll make a full guide after we can see all the things we can do. And I'll also make some builds as well. But thanks for watching. Until next time, dear gamer, signing out.